Joe here from Ritual Gaming, and we are bringing you a Bronzium Pulls video. We're kind of trying to spice this things up with a little bit of, we're changing it where we're not only going to be doing the pulls, but also talking about how we think Bronzium could be improved. Because if it's anything like all of my Bronzium pulls, by the end of this video, we'll be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
So,
as you can see on screen, this is a little account that I've been holding on the side. I've racked up, 20,000 odds, so we should get a good 75-ish pulls, maybe a couple more out of tonight. And I guess we just wanted to, while we do that, we're gonna track them. We're gonna give you a percentage rundown of exactly what we get from these pulls, and at the same time, spitball a few ideas that we think could make the Bronzium machine a little bit more attractive.
Yeah. Something where people are a bit more excited to pull, because I feel like if you're playing this game consistently every day, then after a while you just kind of, I haven't even done mine in a long time because
and you miss all those free ones because you don't even really care.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the same time, it might be a little bit more interesting to save up a few, depending on what we get, because I feel like when I do just as they come,
just one, and you get like a blue piece of gear or something.
Yeah, and another also an important thing to remember is that this is not a concept that's new to Galaxy of Heroes.
No.
Many mobile games have this concept of a friend-based, a social-based ally points, social points, friend points, pal points, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. The more you play, the more you get. The more you get, the more you use, and the more you use, it's supposed to be, the more you get back, or at least feel like it. Obviously, it's not the duty of an F2P game to give things away for free. We understand that this is not how these games function.
Right.
But there are other games out there that do this in a way that is much more appealing.
Yeah, even when they're giving you trash, at least it's trash that you're maybe slightly looking for.
Yeah, it's specific trash.
Yeah,
it's very specific trash.
So let's get to these pulls, because we can talk about these as we go along.
Yeah.
Danny, start that pull machine.
Pull that machine.
All right, so what we're going to do here, as we're doing, just go. Just keep going. So Danny is going to be pulling on consistence. There we go. Nailed it.
Yeah.
And
so that's gray mats.
Perfect.
Gray mat.
Then Joe is going to be keeping track of our stats. So
he's
got a little pie chart thing going on.
Droid. Training droid.
Training droid.
Yeah,
okay. Then I'm going to be talking about how all of us, because we've discussed it recently, how things could maybe be improved. Now, there are a lot of other kind of free-to-play games out there that are really good. And one of them that we all really liked before, but we kind of got burned out on after a while, was Puzzle and Dragons. And one of the cool things...
Shards.
Little plug-in cousin.
Shards.
And he's not the worst guy in the world, The good thing that this does do is give the occasional character shot.
Yeah. And that goes into what we were all thinking about was, we kind of wish that with this there would be events for your ally points where...
Another shard.
Lesser.
If this was on my other account, that would have been some shard shop shards.
Yeah, there you go.
This one.
But we kind of wish that there was a bit of an event kind of scale where you can plan when you're going to spend your ally points. So even though ally points aren't ever really going to give you amazing stuff, maybe something where, it's only going to be certain like an extra percentage chance of getting certain character shards.
Character!
That is definitely his name.
That's his
I
name.
would not be disappointed in that.
You know what's crazy? I pulled him out of the Bronzium on my other account.
No way.
No way. But
that's sick, dude.
He's a character that starts at 4 stars.
You can actually get good, too.
Yeah.
I cannot believe within 8 pulls we've pulled the character.
Wow.
And then here we are telling Bronzium.
Bronzium's so dumb. They need to make it better. But wow.
Onwards.
So Aurora.
Sorry, I just got a little excited about that. That was good.
He is chromium.
Tiny bit.
He is chromium only, right?
Coinage.
Bit of cash.
Isn't he? He is. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
We'll check that later. We'll check that at the end. Yeah. We'll go through it when we go through assess. But I thought there was going to be another character.
Training droids.
We were all thinking that definitely with events where even if you had an extra percentage chance of getting a certain type of character, i.e. like a tank, healer, blah blah blah, something like that, then it would encourage people to kind of save up their points and be more excited when they're spending it. They don't have to make it where it's more of something, but maybe just slightly more of a chance.
Or less of a chance of of something that you just don't need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like phase out the gray mats or something.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, another thing that we were talking about is there's a game that we like that's in Droids. We all play it actually a lot, called Puzzle and Dragons. If you haven't played it, it's another great free-to-play game. And they have these events that are fabulous. And you may have said that because I wasn't paying.
I spent about the last 10 minutes talking about that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Joe's focused on pie charts right now.
Yeah,
you were very
Best build map of the night.
But yeah, no, I mean, in that game, they had like weekly events where it was like, okay, you need to upgrade your character, so we're going to give you, that's a train break. You know, the upgrade abilities right now, or vice versa, you need to train them up, and so, yeah.
I feel like, too, maybe the other thing they could do is change the Bronzium pulls as you progress in your account. For example, as, I don't know, from 1 to 30.
Holy crap, cow!
Oh,
did I just pull a Lumi out of there?
Was that a Lumi character?
That was a full Lumi, 4-star.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, was that a shard? No, that might have been a shard.
That could have been a shard.
Yeah, no, if it was a character, it said you've already got this character.
Yeah, right? Yeah, take it back.
Well, you got a Lumi.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Okay.
We got excited.
Yeah, I have to have a drink of the thing.
Oh, Lumi.
The thing.
Great, man.
Great, hold up a sec. We're going through the pretty good. We're a quarter of the way through. I don't think we need to rush so hard.
Yeah, we're doing well. So, what I think is just as you're going on, right? You have things where they're changing. Where as it progresses with your account, you might have a slightly higher chance of getting things that you need.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or something like that. Or
I mean, like so, it's intuitive to like, okay, maybe you need this, so there's a higher chance that we're going to give you.
Yeah. And too, maybe stuff like like we're always talking about how the items look like hair dryers or wrenches or something like that. Have a week where it's certain items will show up more.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's how.
And then you can start saving up.
Yeah. So you have a reason to hoard and a reason to go and splurge, and you can choose your weekly event as you feel fit. Like, I need training droids right now, so I'm going to splurge 10,000 points on the training droid event. Yeah,
There should definitely be events.
Or it could just be like a chance to get random shards of Jedis more.
Yeah. Anything synergy events.
Blue.
And also, what I think, it actually wouldn't backfire on them at all. It wouldn't make people have more, but it would make people more excited about what they're doing. So if you had synergy of like, oh, the Bronzium Jedi event is coming up, and then you could kind of you could tie it in with something else, like if Yoda comes out or something like that, then you have more Jedi shards in Bronzium.
Yeah, totally. It would just actually make me want to play more than I already do. I already play a lot. It's not like there's any excuse for me not to play, but
and also more importantly, like it makes it more exciting. Like, you still, we maybe got slightly more excited than we should have about drawing a.
I think that's amazing.
But
that was cool.
At the same time, like that's what playing games is all about.
Yeah.
And if you can give people more of that, you're gonna have more people playing your game, and they will spend money. We spend money.
Yeah.
Not a great deal, we're mostly FTP players as we mentioned, but we've dropped a bit.
Yeah.
We're in the $100 to $150 US category.
Well, we were just
$1,000 to $1,500 US territory. Yeah.
We were just talking about how amazing the daily crystal bundle is. Where
So
it's
good.
like
It's like 12 or 13 US. We work in a different currency here.
Yeah.
But it's in the 10 to $15 US region.
I think it's
such
almost double its value.
probably,
At least.
Great.
Actually,
Yeah, great.
Great.
So we're hitting a bit of a dry spell here.
Well, yeah, because we haven't had a character in at least 15 pulls.
Great again.
Yeah. But it is interesting. Like, we've never actually sat down together and really analysed things like this. So this is totally new territory for us. I know there's a lot of videos on the internet that do this. And there's guys who do this every week. But our point really isn't to say like, look what we got out of the Bronzium this one time. It's more like
green.
Yeah, like what could you get out of the Bronzium?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with giving 70% grey stuff because this is the free machine that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that little pulse of energy and knowing that little pulse of, that little like adrenaline feedback you get, from video games.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
I think too it would inspire people to have friends on their friends list more, because even when you first start in the game, it doesn't really feel like you really need.
What's the friend cap at right now?
Like 50. It's really low.
Yeah.
How much? 15?
I constantly have to rub people off.
Yeah.
Because guys who are like in the top 10 of my server have me and I want to be friends with them, even though
so
they're
you don't have to say yes or no to their friendship when you're switching over.
Yeah. But it's just the majority of the people that I'm actually friends with in real life are already my friends, so there's no real room.
Hey, look at that! We got a little clone sergeant.
Clone sergeant.
Shard.
Okay.
One of the worst characters.
I get really excited when a character comes out, and then you realize, oh no, it wasn't a character. It was a Shard.
But you know what? I actually don't mind the Shards. I like the Shards a lot more than...
Yeah, and they remind me of characters I've forgotten about.
Yeah. Hey, you got a
Shard to put into my
That's good.
That I'm never ever going to use. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Tuscan Shaman's going to come out soon.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Grey Matt.
And what I like about getting characters out of Bronzium too is if they're like a tank or healer or something.
Shard.
Ooh, Shard. Daka's real close.
Whoa, you're real close to...
Well, when I first started playing on this account, I went for Daka, and I changed my mind. So I got her really close.
You just need one more shipment now.
Yeah. Can get her out.
She's so good.
Yeah, and especially with all this news about the new update, at the time of writing.
So if you're watching this video randomly, this is just when they've released the idea of they're going to raise level to 80, they're going to release Fortitude, and they are changing it where people can't get one shot as much. So it seems like Daka would be amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna put a bit of time into her now.
I would, yeah, totally.
What we got here?
Great again.
I think Daka is already pretty good.
She just needs that little bit of the extra buff, which I think they're gonna do.
Windy Shard, that's cool.
Yeah, which is nice. Nice to just give people who need a buff, and that's the whole thing with like the.
We've always really liked Daka.
Yeah.
And wanted her to be better than she is.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
She is so close to being a complete tier 1 like god level character.
Yeah.
But just is lacking maybe in the stats department, maybe in the whatever it is.
I feel like too she's one of those characters where when you initially start playing the game, especially as a free to play player,
you want her.
She's do.
But a little bit of fives there. That's a guy in the new meta.
That's gonna be good.
I reckon he's gonna be big. Yeah.
But I feel like you want her, but at the same time, she's so far out of reach that you can't really. She takes effect if you're farming her free to play style through the cantina, like 3-4 months down the road. And she's got to be 7 stars to compete at the highest level of the arena.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like she's. I think we've mentioned this in previous. But is that green?
Yeah, it's green.
In previous episodes, we've said that she's really good once you've got her right to hypermax. Yeah.
She's not that good before that. Yeah.
And you've got no motivation to take her through that phase because she's doing nothing for you until you get us at the top.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You're trying to progress. You're trying to do as well as you can. Another problem shard. That's cool. You're trying to. I love it too when you get shards and they make you eat them. So
So my OCD side can just be
like,
alright, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to run his hard mode twice, at least. Yeah.
The world's not gonna go on fire. It's fine.
Everything's fine. No, I'll be able to sleep tonight. Unless we get another one, then we need 4 more.
Great.
But it is interesting. Like, it's weird to sit down and just pump these Bronziums out. Because it's like, you never do this, right? And we're getting close to the end now, and it's quite,
It's not as disappointing as I thought it would be.
Well, I'm very happy that we drew a character.
A character was kind of the topping on the whole thing
that's
right there.
That's definitely the thing. Because as you can see now, it's very easy not to, right? It's like, yeah.
We blew up that proverbial load early.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of cash.
I feel like, though, the cool thing about the way the meta's been adjusting is that the lower level characters that seem to be a higher chance of getting them in the Bronzium, like Royal Guard and stuff like that, or else are kind of taking effect. They're so when you do get them, like when I get Royal Guard shards from Bronzium, I'm really excited.
Yes, because it's something you were shooting for anyway, and you get it. That's why I mean the random shard thing. Like it sounds like garbage to get a random shard of, a character, but when you're actually farming that character, like every shard counts. Like you're pumped every time you hit the Cantina level and you get a shard. And you're pumped every time you hit the hard mode and you get a shard. And if there was just like, oh, it's Jedi Shard Week on the Bronzium machine, you'd be like, oh, cool, I was farming my Jedis for Yoda. Like, I might just get 3 shards towards 3 random Jedis.
Is, because we haven't gotten one yet, purple mats. I would save up purple
mats would be the ideal.
Gray mats.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome, but I feel like that's something that maybe you won't do.
No, because, it is one of the driving forces of, like, refreshing.
Yeah.
And
they want you to have them.
Yeah. It's like, you got
They want him and Barrett to just be friends forever.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Great. Nice. Great. I feel like, too, one thing that I would really like to see is maybe...
in a good day.
Oh, man.
All right, man.
I'm getting all stuff I wish I had.
Have a good day.
I wish I had all this on my other account. I got Poggle Shot. No, Poggle Max on my other account. But just blue map? Oh, that's a bit of a rarity.
I would love the ability, too, and I've never seen it in a free-to-play game, where you were slightly in control of how the Bronzium or ally points or whatever machine worked, where there could be like an event, say for example, and you could choose maybe 1 out of 3. Let's go like tribalistic synergies or something like that, where it's like Ewoks, scoundrels, Jedis, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And depending on which event you play and beat, then your then your event reflects that in your Bronzium machine, so you have a higher chance.
All right, this is the last one, guys.
Oh, this is the last one?
Oh, we might have one more, actually. We can go out and get the old daily refresh.
This one's got to be
it's going to be all Ben in there. Whoa! It was a character.
It's a full character, yeah, nice.
Jedi Knight Guardian. So we
Jedi Knight Guardian.
Yeah. Cool. So, we're done. Now, I have been logging these as we've been going. And
what are we looking at here?
So what we're looking at here is of course, this is an isolated, batch of a total of 73 pulls we just did.
Okay.
And that got us. So it's an overwhelming majority of grey materials, as you would expect. 48.2% of our pulls were grey materials. Then coming up in a close second place, not a close second place at all, were shards. Interestingly. The next highest number of things we got were individual shards. That might be a result of the particular pulls we got. But it is quite interesting to note. Yeah, the shards rated higher.
I've actually noticed that on my account. I get a lot of shards.
Yeah, a lot of shards. And then coming up next would be green materials. So yeah, we're going back into the materials again. And then after that would be training droids. And then cash, small, insignificant sums of cash. Then after that, blue materials. So we go, we're dropping in grey, then green, then blue, as you would expect. And then we only got the one purple material, which that might be the thing that this needs more of, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe if the Bronzium just pumped out a couple more purple materials. Because, it's cool that I got
one hairdryer.
Yeah, I would have taken 2 hairdryers over
Yeah.
Because he's going to sit in my account with nothing for a really long time.
Well, he might be in Galactic War.
In fact, we actually got more characters than purple materials.
Wow.
Because we got 2 characters. Jedi Knight Guardian here that you see on the screen, and
he can be one of those guys in Galactic War where you put him in at level 1. these abilities.
Yeah, so there you have it. We'll post the full list of results percentage-wise in the notes below, just because for those maths nerds, depends how many maths you want. You will be able to have a look at those, and like we say, this is a very small cross-section of results to look at, but just something we thought would be fun to spitball ideas over.
Yeah. Alright guys, we hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. This is Greg, Danny, and Joe from Ritual Gaming.